Wait, no, but okay, sorry. He had a version of this question where it was like an LCD. Was it an LCD? I think I don't know if it was like an LCD screen or whatever, but like I picked the power supply the other time and it was actually wrong. And it was something else. I think it was an LCD TV screen, and he was talking about the capacitors in them or something like that. Like they store power. But yeah, if it wasn't, I honestly if it wasn't that, like I would have picked this because it's like yeah, it has power in it. But
Yeah,
well,
definitely the
yeah,
power supply.
yeah.
What's up, guys? So what we're doing is we're in a Comptia A plus study group on Discord. This is for the 1202 Core 2 study material. So we got in a little bit late. We're gonna jump in, try to catch the little ass end of this. Cause we're scheduled to take the test in about 2 weeks. Even though I'm currently studying for the core one, I still study for the core two because I have to take it anyway. So let's get back to it, man, because they've already started, and we'll catch up in a little bit.
You begin to think back to when these issues began to occur and remember that each time it happened, the lights also dimmed momentarily. You hook up a device to a monitor and begin and the power being supplied to the router and identify that brownouts are frequently occurring. So that's when power sags, resulting in the router's power cycling. What should you do, a network technician, to solve this problem? Install a UPS, I think, because device to monitor the power being supplied to the router and identify the brownouts are frequently occurring. Yeah, you don't know. I mean, that's kind of this is I think a bit overkill. Like you don't know if it's the actual outlet itself, but a UPS would protect you from those temporary brownout bounce. I think it's not a surge because surges are when it goes up. Instead, it's the opposite of a brownout. Not quite a spike. Then it's not the router. So yeah. A Windows small office wants to donate all computers to charity. They need a basic process to quickly remove files and applications from these systems. What best fits this needs? That's not going to work. No. Data shredding applications. So that's software based. That might be. No. Performing standard formatting on each computer's hard drive. Data shredding applications. What is that? I feel like
Using specialized third party data.
it's between these two.
I think
Standard formatting
automatically
to quickly remove files. Oh, to quickly?
to
Well,
quickly.
yeah, maybe. I think a standard format will do the trick. Yeah, okay. This will probably take more time. I think it sounds fancier and more involved. In your organization, help desk technicians use an AI-driven documentation tool to generate step-by-step troubleshooting guides for common IT issues. After implementation, users report that some of the instructions contain incorrect software commands or outdated procedures, leading to failed troubleshooting attempts. Which of the following best describes this issue? It's an inaccuracy. Um, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel even though I like AI is new stuff in the 1202 or whatever. I mean, it's not too hard to understand. I don't think. You are working as a technician where your organization has received approval to migrate its email services to a new cloud provider. The IT team has created a detailed plan, including a rollback strategy, communication with end users, and scheduled downtime. They are now ready to execute the migration according to the approved change management process. Which of the following best describe this change of change management? Uh, well, we haven't done the change yet, so it's not that. I think we've already assessed the risks because they have a rollback strategy. I don't know what like that means to stop the change in the middle of it, so I think it's just implementation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, also high. But let's see. What is a change freeze? That must be new. They didn't talk about it, or Messer didn't in the 11 one. Is a restriction on changes during critical periods, which does not apply. Oh, I see. So there's like certain periods where it's like we absolutely can't do changes like here because there's maybe important stuff going on. Um, which does not apply since the migration is moving forward. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We got all the concepts there, I think. A team is working on a shared spreadsheet to track inventory. Some employees report seeing different data than their coworkers. What is the most likely reason? Too many users editing has caused hidden updates. Cache data is being displayed instead of live updates. Potentially. The spreadsheet automatically created multiple versions. A system reboot is needed for changes to sync. I think that's the only one that makes sense. I don't know what like a hidden update is. So I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. Refreshing or clearing the cache usually solves this. Cloud-based spreadsheets do not duplicate automatically, so multiple versions would not need to be created manually. Allow many users. Yeah. Yeah, it's collaborative, so there's no hidden updates. Your company wants to ensure that users cannot access USB mass storage devices. You have conducted some research online and found that if you modify the H key local machine system current control set services USB store key, it will prevent USB storage devices from being used. Which of the following tools should you use to modify this key? That sounds like it's in the registry. So it's a registry edit. That's the Microsoft Management Console with the snap-ins. This is the boot up configuration. And it's got some other stuff. And that's remote desktop services. Cigar is planning to patch a production system to correct a detected vulnerability during his most recent network vulnerability scan. What process should he follow to minimize the risk of a system failure while patching this vulnerability? Do it in a sandbox before testing on the production system. Easily. Yeah. Oh, finally, a PBQ. He's barely put any of these in like the 1102 and 1202 ones. On the real exam for this type of question, you would drag and drop the... Oh, wait. Okay, I think we had this one before. I'm going to work through it again, though. So, let's see. Something you know is a pin. So that's... Yeah, that's already in place. So, something... So, oh. I'm going to say, wait, how's the answer structured? So yeah, okay. So we're just doing what the things are. Something you have is a card. So pin, card, something you are. I think that's a signature. So I'm going to say sig. Something you do. Oh, wait, no. Something you are. Oh, whoops. No. Something you do is a signature. Sig. Something you are is a fingerprint. And then somewhere you are, GPS. Okay. So, pin, card, finger. Pin, card, fingerprint, signature, GPS. Grace has submitted a ticket stating that their computer displays frequent desktop alerts stating that the antivirus protection is disabled, despite her claims to never turning it off. Attempts to re-enable the antivirus fail. Wait, sorry. Okay. And she's never turned it off. But re-enabling it, trying to re-enable it fails, and the system shows altered file names in several personal folders. Users concerned about data security and possible unauthorized access. Which of the following options will be the next best step in addressing this issue? Oh, actually, that's going to be it. I think we've already identified it. They're not giving us the option to quarantine, but that's what I would say you do next. And then, yeah, go into safe mode so that all this other stuff is disabled, and then you can run a malware removal tool, scan, and get rid of the crap. Which of the following best describes the benefit of cloud-based word processing tools? Documents can be edited by one person at a time. Multiple users can edit documents at the same time. Users must download and re-upload files to make changes. Changes are only saved when the file is closed. I think it's that collaboration. Yeah. The security manager has asked you to assist with the risk assessment of some proposed new security measures. The manager is concerned that during a power outage, the server room might be targeted for attack. Luckily, they have many different protection measures in place to keep intruders out of the server room. During a power outage, which of the following security controls would still be usable? Um, Door locks, because it's power, 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 but that's physical. A workstation was patched last night with the latest operating system security update. This morning, the workstation only displays a blank screen. You restart the operating system, the computer, but the OS fails to load. What is the next step you should attempt to boot this workstation? Reboot the workstation in safe mode, open Reddit, and but we don't know like what we're editing. Reboot the workstation with the BIOS and reconfigure boot options. It said an update caused it, so I think it's going to be that. Yeah. Which of the following best describes the difference between a dedicated graphics card and an integrated graphics solution? A dedicated graphics card is required for basic computing. No. A dedicated graphics card is built. No. A dedicated graphics card has its own memory, while integrated graphics solution shares system RAM with other processes. Yes. A dedicated graphics card uses less power. No. Dion Training has recently replaced the batteries in the rack-mounted UPS in their data center. Which of the following should their technicians do to dispose of the depleted batteries? We should follow the local regulations. Yeah. Woohoo. Oh, we're almost there. You've decided that you wanted to install a second operating system on the computer. After installing the operating system and rebooting the computer, you see OS not found. You verified that boot.ini files configured properly, but the error still appears. What is most likely causing the error? He had this in his 1101 questions as well. I don't know why he's still asking these. An incompatible partition is marked as active. I think that's the one. The master loader was installed. Yeah. So this is MBR, and then it's like one of the incompatible ones is marked as active. We're not incompatible, but I guess there's not an operating system on it, so it doesn't know like how to boot it.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Although also out of scope for the exam. I think out of scope for the exam. They're not going to ask anything like this. I don't think. Dion Training just released a new corporate policy that dictates all access to network resources will be controlled based on the user's job functions and tasks within the organization. This is least privilege. For example, only people working in HR can see employee records, and only people working in finance can access payment histories. Yeah. Give them only what they need to do their job and nothing more. A user attempts to visit a banking website and notices the browser displaying a security warning about an invalid certificate. What is the best action these should take to protect sensitive information?
And guys, he's going faster than the other people would typically go. So just kind of hang in there with us. I kind of like this pace because we're not lingering over, little small pieces of information. We can actually get everything knocked out in a timely manner. So let's tap back in.
By sector representation of what a disk would be. On their Windows 10 workstation, which of the following should you tell them? Your hard drive must not have enough free space. Your workstation need to have 16 gigabytes of RAM to open the file. That's, kind of extreme. You must be an administrator to open that file. You need to use Mac OS to open DNG files. Oh, we're on Windows 10? That's it. Eduardo is installing Windows 11, which is all 64-bit, in a VM on his Mac OS desktop. The installation is continually failing. He has a virtual machine with a 2.2 gigahertz processor, 4 gigabytes of memory, and a 64 gigabyte hard drive. So I'm trying to think about this. On Windows 10, 32-bit, you need 1 gigabyte of... I think you need 1 gigabyte of RAM at minimum. And then 64-bit, it's 2. And then Windows 11, they doubled to 4. So it has enough RAM, just barely, but that's enough. I don't remember this. It's the screen resolution of the gigahertz processor, but I think or the amount of hard drive space. Oh, it's going to be that because that's sorry. So I think it does become increased, and you have enough just to install the operating system and not to do anything. So you need like extra space. I'm going to assume it's that. Oh, number of CPU core. Oh, did it say single core? Did I fuck that up?
It didn't say nothing about
With
cores.
a 2.2 gigahertz processor. Well, okay, but to be fair, you didn't specify the number of cores. I feel like you have to maybe say single core, and then I would have been like, oh, double core. Yeah, I'm gonna share some feedback on that. I do feel like maybe that's okay. Next, yeah, if that said single core, I would have been like, oh, it's the cores, but I don't remember. Yeah, it probably would have been double, right? Like 2.2. Well, sorry, that's the clock speed, but yeah, how many cores does it have? He didn't even mention. Um, if it said 0 cores, that maybe that would have been too obvious. Maybe that's what he was trying to go for. Which of the following commands is used to edit a text file on the Linux server? That's going to be nano or there's another one I'm forgetting the name of, but there's vi I think
Vim.
that's another one. This is no vi I think. Hang on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Linux vi text editor. Is that what it's called? Yeah, vi v. You could just say that. This is grab me the text I specify from a file. Nano. Oh, well, yeah, sorry, Nano's text editor. This is path of the working directory. That's concatenate or cat, which is display the contents of one file, like in the terminal, or combine multiple files and display that in the terminal, and then you can output it as like one original file. But yeah, this is the text editor. In the I mean, there's text editor programs. This is one you can use in the terminal. So Nano and V, I both like that. You are assisting a member of Dion Training security team during an incident response. The team member asks you to determine if any strange TCP connections are occurring on a given workstation. Netstat. You open the command prompt on the workstation, which the following tools would use with information on any TCP connections currently established on the workstation. It's going to be that. I really need to like memorize the arguments you can add to each one because I don't remember. I know there's like you can stuff to do to like show like also UDP and then show them as which applications are doing it as well. Route. I don't know if that's a command. That's address resolution protocol. Trace route. I know that one. That's gonna be netstat. Let's look at these. The ARP command is used to view and modify the local address. So you use this to look at the ARP cache on the device, which contains recently resolved MAC addresses of IP hosts on the network. The route command is used to create, view, or modify manual entries in the network routing tables of a computer or server. So look at the routing tables, look at the ARP cache, tracer. I'll look at the path my packets take from me to the destination and which routers they stop at. And then, yeah, display the network statistics. Beyond Training is preparing for its busiest sales season of the year, during which any system downtime could result in significant revenue loss. To prevent disruptions, management has instructed the IT department to temporarily halt all non-essential system changes. Which of the following, including updates, patches, and new feature rollouts, until the high traffic period is over, which of the following best describe this type of restriction? Or is that change freeze? Yeah, I think this is a change freeze, a pause request. It might be this, but I don't know. We'll see. Yes, change freeze. But what's a pause request? Nothing. Maybe he made that up. Okay. Which of the following policies should be created to provide employees with the guidelines and limitations they must follow when using company-provided emails, computers, and network access? Acceptable use policy. You are working with a client who reports that their laptop suddenly lost internet connectivity despite being connected to the Wi-Fi network. They state that other devices on the same network are working fine. The client mentions that the only thing they recall is reviewing their. Wait, so they lost connectivity, but they're on the Wi-Fi network, and every other devices on the same network work fine. They mentioned the only thing they recall is reviewing their email account and accessing a link from their internet provider. After the connection issue began, they noticed an unfamiliar VPN extension installed in the browser. What would be the best solution to restore internet connectivity in this case? Remove the browser extension and scan the system for malware. Yeah. Which of the following control panel sections would allow a technician to roll back a driver for a dedicated graphics card? Device manager. Which of the following data types would be used to store the value of true? Boolean. That's numbers with decimals. Whole numbers with no decimals. String is multiple characters. If they say a character, that's just one letter, like that. But yeah, Boolean is true and false. Which of the following best describes how a DHCP reservation works? By matching a MAC address to an IP address within the DHCP scope. You are formatting a 4 terabyte external hard drive on your MacBook. The drive will be used to share Okay, type of this. To share large video files between your MacBook and your friend's Windows 10 desktop. Which file format should you use? I think you should use exFAT. FAT32 is compatible with different operating systems, but that's like older and it doesn't have like much, not very good capabilities these days. So you want to use exFAT, which can go between different operating systems. This is Windows. I forget what that is, but we'll find out in a second. HFS. A Mac OS system can format a hard drive using Apple File System, HFS Plus, HFS, or exFAT. What's HFS? Hierarchical file system. And it's used on all older Apple Macintosh computers. Okay, and then HFS Plus is the same thing with the, plus. Which of the following types of information can be displayed by the top command in Linux? Amount of running processes ordered by CPU or RAM consumption. Top is the Linux version of the task manager, and it's in the command line, or the terminal. Sorry. Yeah, this is not CPU cores, but free storage can be looked at with DF, which is disk free. Okay. A customer is complaining that there are intermittent problems with their PC. As a tech, you don't know exactly what the errors are. So which tool should you use to determine what errors have previously occurred? Event viewer. A computer is infected with malware that has infected the Windows kernel to hide. What type of malware most likely infected this computer? That is a rootkit. You have just updated the graphics card drivers to the latest version. After installation, the Windows workstation crashes and reports an error code. You attempt to reboot the workstation, but it fails again. You decide to reboot the workstation into safe mode. What should you do next? You should roll back the graphics card driver. You don't disable it because you still want it to work. You want the previously working configuration, which is what this does. Hell yeah. You know what? That was okay. I messed up a couple of the new ones, but hey, not bad. Oh, 82 out of 90. Yeah, so only 8 wrong. Let's see what we got wrong. I'm gonna say that's actually 7 incorrect because that one I shared feedback on, I think that's a bit unfair to not mention the CPU cores. So yeah, that one that was me not reading, so my L. Me not. I don't know. I gotta understand this stuff a little better, I think. But I know MBR is the MBR petitioning.
You did awesome, man. You did awesome.
Oh, thanks. Well, yeah, but I've done his other practice exams. He's reusing a lot of questions, so I think that inflates my score a bit. But we can try one of Messer's, and which I have here. Just give me a sec. Yeah, let's try. Okay. Yeah, let's try one of these. Don't try to give me the answers right away. I want to see if well, okay, if I like I'm gonna use a lifeline or something, you know, but I'm gonna try to do these mostly by hand. So I'll just get rid of this. Okay, we can close that. Let's open a new. Okay, so there's gonna be hang on. I guess he's gonna put 6. I don't want to like take too look at these too long. So there's only 5 performance-based questions, and so then there's going to be 90 minus. Oh, so there's going to be 85. So let's say PBQ 1, PBQ 2, PBQ 3, PBQ 4, PBQ 5, and then I'm gonna get ChatGPT to do this for me quick. Bring me the numbers. The numbers like 6 to 90 in this format. 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. Hell yeah. Wait, it won't let me copy paste it? No! Can you do the...
So
Oh wait, or can I do that? Hang on, does that work? Oh, that works. Okay, never mind. Ooh. Man, that was... I thought I was gonna have to, like, type this shit out. Okay, come on. Yeah, no. Okay. Perfect. We'll call this, Messer's Big Mess. Okay. I can close that. Alright. Yeah. So, a technician has recently removed malware from Windows Computer, but is concerned that some of the system files may have been modified. From the command line, analyze and repair any damaged operating system files. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of lucky I still know this one. SFC, scan now. I think that's it. So one command will like look at it and then it'll modify or fix anything that's messed up. A technician has been tasked with removing malware from a desktop computer. Arrange these malware removal tasks in the correct order to successfully remove the malware. I mean, I don't even have to look at it. I can just, well, okay, I'll look in a sec. But identify malware symptoms. Quarantine, disconnect from network, etc. Destroy system, restore points, disable equals destroy. Remediate. So that's like 2 parts. So first you may have to manually. Okay, wait. So either update virus definitions via internet or manually. We'll say remediate A and then remediate B. Scan, remove malware from system. Then we run enable Windows updates and perform updates. Then we re-enable system restore, educate the end user. It was sorry, give me a sec here. Oh, okay. Let me come back. Oops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I didn't get too much more detailed. Okay, well, I know that one, so I got that right. He just has remediate as one step, but yeah, you can break that up into two because first you have to, update your stuff. Match the technology with a description. Can we hide for the session? That's annoying me. Match the technology with a description. Some descriptions will not have a match. Okay. So end user license agreement is software can be used for one. So we're gonna say EULA. Oh wait. I'll just put a number there. Actually, can I copy this? I'll just do that. Or no, I'll just okay. EULA is 2. We'll count from the top, and then PII is a name. A database includes all client first names, last names, and home addresses. A company needs the proper personally identifiable information. Yeah, that's going to be PII. So PII is, I think, because nothing else is there. Backups, disposing, a Spark. Yeah. That's 3. GFS. I'm forgetting what that is. But I'll acceptable use policy. The proper use of AUP is 1. Shit, this is going to be GFS. So 1. So the first 3 are taken out. So I can look at the last. A spark is seen and felt while touching the outside case of a desktop computer. A company needs to dispose of recently updated batteries in 20 UPS systems. Oh, grandfather, father, son. Consists of that's 5. That's 5. Okay, that's PBQ number 3 done. A user needs to access a file located on the gate room server. The file is located in a share called ship diagnostics. Use the command line to connect to this share drive using G. Okay, I'm lucky I kind of also remember this one. So net use, and then we want to specify to the G drive, net use G, and then 2 backslashes indicates a so gate room, and then 1 slash will, and then after that it indicates the share you're referring to, which is just the folder that's been configured to share. What's the share called? Ship diagnostics. There we go. Net use. So this will map the share ship diagnostics from the gate room server onto drive G. BBQ5. Match the commands to the description. Some descriptions will not have a match. Oh, well, good for that. Durr. List the contents of a Windows directory. Is what is that? That's hang on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5. So there is 5. GP update. Process changes made in a group policy. That's going to be 4. GP update is 4. Because we don't have one more saying we just reference it, right? Yeah. Disk partition. List the volume names on a storage drive. That's going to be 6, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, that's going to be disk part 6. Host name. Identify the name of a database server. Use done all correctly, I'm pretty sure. Unless there's a second thing to 1, I don't know, but I'll come back to that. Maybe. I'm pretty sure SFC scan now just will do what they were asking. Yeah. Also, one thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when you start the command prompt in administrator mode, it'll start you off in the System32 folder. By default, when you start it, CMD, you're like in your user folder or whatever. But if you do it, let's do it the other way. Which, so from here, you can also hold, I think, was it Control-Alt-Enter? No, Control-Shift and Enter? Control-Shift-Enter? There we go, yeah. And now you can see I'm in my System32 folder. And then you can also see Administrator command prompt. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, sorry. I'll take. Do you guys want me to like keep these on screen if you want more time to answer them, or should I give us time to answer as well? Okay. Yeah. Just let me know when you guys want me to move on. I'll show these for like a bit before we go to the multiple choice. I meant before you put. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Well, so we'll just we'll. Do you guys want to go through? Like, do you guys want the answers as we go through these? Like, I can go on like the detailed one where he has the answers and only scroll down so much as like as far as it shows it. I don't really like. I sort of my sleep schedule's been kind of fucked, so I just tend to get on like in the closer to the evening for me, kind of around maybe like 4-ish, 4 or 5 like onwards. Not always like right then, but you know, sometime after that I'll usually be on. But yeah, if you want Cubas, I can maybe just shoot me a message. I'll try to tag you when I'm doing these study groups. At least that way you know when I'm doing it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go through these. We can look at the answers after, I think. Let's try to make it a little more challenging. Yeah, no problem. Just shoot me a message so I remember to tag you. Because there's been like some other people, so I don't want to forget you. Okay. A system administrator is installing a new server into the metal racks in a data center. During the installation process, the administrator can feel a faint tingling sensation when mounting the server. Which of the following safety systems should be tested and verified first? It's going to be the equipment grounding, I think, because that's what the faint tingling sensation is. That's like you feeling electricity. It's not choosing to go through you, but you can feel it. So I want to make sure it's being grounded properly. That's my guess, though. I'm just roughing that out. If you guys want, maybe I won't talk out loud, and then that won't color like your opinions. You guys can make guesses. So just let me know. I just think it helps to sort of reason out loud. Not that I'll be able to do that during the exam. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down to the next one. Hang on, I actually don't need this window to be that like open, so I'll put this here. And even though I'm scrolling down, you guys can look at the last questions. We can just do that. Wow, that's a long question. Okay. A user has opened a help desk ticket regarding the battery life on the mobile phone. The battery in the phone held the charge for most of the day prior to connecting to the corporate network. The battery now only lasts about half a day, and the back of the phone is warmer than usual. So there's an issue with the something on the corporate network. The storage is 216.2 gigabytes, a 512 gigabyte use. So that looks okay. We have plenty of space there. Display and brightness is automatic. I don't think there's an issue there. Wi-Fi is enabled. Auto lock is disabled. VPN not connected. Low power mode disabled. Battery maximum capacity is 100%. So the battery health is okay. Which of the following changes would have the best impact on battery performance? I think enabling auto lock And I think I'm just going to reason whatever. You guys haven't said anything. So I think the reason for that is because if auto lock is not enabled, the phone will just, if you don't close it yourself, the phone can just sit there with the screen on. So if you leave it for like a few hours, it's just constantly using that power. I'm going to save that. A user in the accounting department has received this error message. The print spooler service is not running. The user contacts the help desk and opens a ticket for assistance. The help desk technician performs some testing and identifies the issue. Which of these would be the next best step? Power cycle the printer, reboot the computer. So, sorry, he's done some testing and identifies the issue. He needs to restart the spooler service. Because the issue was with the print spooler. So you're going to stop and then restart the service is what you're going to do. A student would like to prevent the theft of the laptop while studying at the library. Which of the following security methods would be the best choice to protect this laptop? A cable lock. Because it's physical. If you had a USB token, that's going to encrypt the drive, but it can still get the laptop can still be stolen. So that's what it's going to best do is the cable lock. Rodney, a desktop technician, is cleaning the inside of computers used on a manufacturing assembly line. The assembly line creates sawdust and wood chips, so that's going to be a face mask, I think. So most of the computers are protected with enclosed computer cases. Which of the following will be the most important item for Rodney to include during this cleaning process? Yeah, face mask. Protect yourself from that fine dust that you can breathe in and has negative health effects. A user is attempting to airdrop a document to an associate, but they do not see any destination drives in their list of available airdrop locations. Which of the following would be the most likely reason for this issue? Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are disabled, which they both do need to be enabled for airdrop, if you didn't know. I forgot about that earlier today. The motherboard of a server in the corporate data center has started smoking. I've been trying to host them like on most days since I have an exam coming up on the 20th. Yeah, I do try to do that. If you want me to like tag you, just maybe shoot me a message and I'll try to remember to do that. Or just say something in the Core 2 like channel, like I'll see that you're studying for it. Okay. Sorry. So the motherboard of a server started smoking and flames can be seen inside the computer case. Which of the following would be the best way to extinguish this fire? It's definitely not a water-based extinguisher for electrical fires. Carbon dioxide. I know it's Class C. I just don't remember what Class C is. I'm kind of forgetting. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say B. I guess carbon dioxide.
Hello everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
It's
Which of
good.
the windows? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What's up? We're just going through a practice exam. If you want to join us. Which of these windows features provides full disk encryption for all data on a storage drive? Full disk encryption for all data on a storage drive. So that's singular files. That's going to be BitLocker. A company maintains data retention requirements of 5 years for all customer names, addresses, and phone numbers. Which of the following would best describe this data? That's not credit card transactions. It's not government issued information. That's going to be PII. Wait. Yeah, we haven't specified it's like healthcare information, so that's PII. A user is in the accounting department.
All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down. This is, like I said, Core 2 study. I am currently studying for Core 1, and I don't want to get too mixed up in other information that I don't need to know right now. So thank you guys